So good morning and welcome to Words from the Woods. This is part one in a series of 5 videos that's going to introduce some tools and techniques that can help you to achieve what you want to achieve in your life. So if you're someone who feels that there's more to life, that you'd like to achieve more with your life, then this set of videos is for you. The techniques that we introduce are simple, they're easy to try out, they don't cost a lot of money. All that you'll need is to give them a bit of time, so a few minutes every day, and you will need just a bit of commitment to work on them for say a month until those techniques really start to hit home for you. So in this series of videos we're going to look at defining what it is that you want from your life. So figuring out in the different areas of your life, what are your goals? What is it you want to achieve? Because knowing that gives you something to aim for. And yet it's amazing how many people in this world don't set any goals. They don't know what they want to do with their lives, so they just drift through life. Well, if you want to get more out of your life, you need to figure out what it is. And the first video on goal setting will help you to achieve that. We then go on and look at how to break those goals down into smaller steps so that you've got something that seems more manageable. It gives you a way, you can see a path that you can take to achieve the goals that you've set. And then the final 2 videos in the series are around changing your beliefs and getting rid of any negative feelings and negative beliefs that are blocking you from achieving those goals. Because what you'll find is that perhaps 80% of achieving the goals in your life comes from your attitude. It comes from your beliefs. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that the goals are achievable. You need an I can do it attitude. I am going to get this done. I will find the right people to help me. And yet some of us go through life with doubts, self-doubts. Maybe I'm not good enough to do this. I'll never get that done, that's too big. Well, that attitude isn't going to help you. So we need to be able to change that attitude. And the good news is that we can. Because our brains learn through repetition. All the things we've learnt in our life, we've learnt through repetition. And we can change our beliefs, we can change our thoughts, we can become that more positive, more self-confident person. And by doing that, we'll then be in a much better position to achieve those goals that we've set for ourselves. So that's the format of this series of videos. The next video in the series is the one on setting goals for your life. And you can watch that video for free if you go to the Build a Brighter Life website. That video on its own can give you some value, and at the end of that you should be able to come up with some goals for different aspects of your life, which give you a much better idea of what it is that you want to achieve. And then if you want to, you can then purchase the remaining videos in the series for a small fee to continue the process, to figure out how to break those goals down into smaller steps, and to figure out how to change your attitude to have a much better attitude that is going to get you towards those goals. Okay, so that was a whistle-stop introduction to the video series to give you an idea of whether or not the videos would be of value to you. What I'm going to do in the remainder of this introductory video is to introduce myself and then to talk a little bit more about each of the videos in turn. But as I say, the second video on creating goals for your life is free for you to watch on the Build a Brighter Life website. So I would recommend that you check it out and that you see if the techniques that I'm teaching are of value to you. So about me, well, my name's Dan, and I've been using these tools and techniques for about 8 years now, and during that time I've seen some huge changes in me, and as a result I've seen some huge changes in my life. The tools and techniques have helped me to become more self-confident, more self-fulfilled. I've had more self-belief, and as I've felt better about myself, that has then reflected in everything around me. So I have better relationships with family, with friends. I have a loving girlfriend. I feel more confident in what I'm doing at work. I can take on new challenges without letting them get to me, without too many negative fears coming up. I can keep things in context rather than letting small problems blow out of all proportion. And that all comes from using the tools and techniques that I'm talking about in this video series. Now, I have a full-time job in the IT industry, and I have a family. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to feel that in order to make changes in your life you need to be some kind of self-help guru or someone who spends 8 hours a day meditating on a beach. Right? That's not the case. I was able to make these changes by spending about 10 minutes a day working on some of these tools and techniques, and then once a week I would give it a big boost, and I'd spend a couple of hours working on some of them. And what I found was that it took probably about a month for some of my beliefs to start to change. And then after that, it's been an ongoing process. I continue to use the tools and techniques that we're talking about. I continue to improve my life. Because life always throws up new challenges. We're always growing. We're always taking on new things. And that's one of the joys of life. But as we do that, there's always new things to learn, there's new opportunities to grow, and the tools and techniques that we talk about can help you in achieving those. Now, the reason that I've chosen to come to the woods to film these series of videos is that it's a place that I like to come to relax, to unwind. If I'm after inspiration, then I'll come out here. It's peaceful and quiet, the birds are singing, and I can often get the inspiration that I need. It's a place that helps me to feel good, to feel inspired. And I believe that in the end, that is what everybody on this planet wants from their lives. They want to feel good, they want to feel positive and happy. They want to feel excitement. They want to feel that they're making a difference. And a lot of us look to the external world in order to get these feelings of fulfillment. It may be that we feel that if we go out and we buy some new clothes or buy some new gadgets, that that's something that's going to make us feel good. And often it does. But it can be a short-term buzz, a short-term bit of excitement, a short-term bit of feeling good, before we drop back to our normal feelings, those day-to-day feelings that we have. But what if we could change those day-to-day feelings? What if we could boost them? So rather than having a base set of feelings that's a bit negative or a bit flat and bored with life, blah de blah de blah, what if we could change our attitude, change those feelings, change our beliefs, so that we go through life every day feeling that life's pretty good? If we're always feeling more confident, more positive, if that's our new baseline for feelings, think what a difference that makes to our lives. If we're feeling good within ourselves, we don't necessarily always need to look to external things to try and get those feelings. And that's something that this series of videos can really help with. So let's go on now and talk about the videos in a little bit more detail. As I said earlier, video 2 is about setting goals. And these are big goals. This is your life vision type of goals. What do you want to achieve in your life? What do you want to achieve in each of the relationships in your life? With your partner, with your family and so on. What do you want to have as a career? What is your dream career? What do you want to be doing with your life? How do you want to be spending your free time? What sort of place do you want to live in? These are all the sorts of questions that we will try to guide you to some answers to in the video on setting goals. So we'll look at the different areas of life, and in each of those it'll ask a set of questions to get you thinking about what it is that you actually want from that aspect of your life. And at the end of that video, you should be able to go away and write down some statements or have an idea in your head of the goals that you want to achieve. The follow-on video from that starts to look at how to break down those goals into some steps that could be taken in order to achieve the goals. Because if we have some grand visions for our life, they can feel quite unachievable. They can be very different to where our life is today. But if we can find some steps that we can take that move us in the direction of the goals that we want to achieve, then it shows us a path, it shows us a way in which we can move towards that goal. And as we are able to tick off those steps, as we achieve those, we can see progress. And seeing progress is a good boost to our confidence as we're trying to move in the direction of achieving these goals. So we'll look at some techniques that will enable you to break a goal down into different steps. And at the end of that video, hopefully what you will be able to see is a path to get you towards your most key goals at this point in your life. Now, goals are going to change, and that's absolutely fine. What we're talking about in these videos is from where you are now, where do you think you want to be? And it may be that as you move through life and as you move towards these goals, you realise, actually that's not what I want for my life, or perhaps I need to refine it. And that's no problem, because you can always go back and repeat the process and change that process. But as you move along the path towards your goals, those goals start to become more of a reality. And you'll start to be able to see, is this actually what I really want? The next video after that starts to look at how we can have a better attitude to enable us to achieve our goals. And we start off by looking at the negative chatter that can come up in our heads when we're trying to achieve something. So it could be some negative beliefs that we have. It could be that we just don't feel that we're good enough. It's not possible to achieve these goals. They're too outrageous. I haven't got enough time. All those sorts of negative feelings and negative beliefs that come up are hindering us from getting what we want out of life. They're not helping us. It might be a protection mechanism that we've got in place. I think rather than reaching for our goal and possibly failing, we'll just hide away and not have a go at it. But it doesn't help. And the good news is that again, we can use some tools and techniques to let go of some of these negative feelings, to let go of some of these negative beliefs. So that's what we'll look at in that video. And then in the final video of the series, we're going to look at brain training, which is a way in which, by repeating positive statements, we can change our beliefs. We can change our attitude. If I was to repeat the statement, I am good enough, 20 times every day for a month, then that statement is going to get drilled into my head. And that thought is just going to start popping up of its own accord. You know, I am good enough. I can do this. It's a very simple process, but that's the way that our brains learn. They learn through repetition. If you've got feelings of self-doubt, if you believe that you're not good enough to achieve something, if you don't believe in yourself at all, then it's likely that those beliefs have come into your head through repetitive thoughts. Maybe in the past someone said something to you. It could be kids at school, it could be a partner and so on. Maybe you've taken that on board and then you keep going over and over it in your head. Someone says, I'm not good enough. Someone says, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. And you start to believe it. And that becomes your state of mind. This state of mind, I'm not good enough. But you are good enough. And you can change that belief. And it's such a simple process to change it, just by repetitively stating a new belief. So in that video, we're going to look at how to best construct these positive statements, so that when you're repeating them to yourself, you've got the best chance of changing your thoughts. So by the end of the video series, you should know what it is you want to achieve in life. You should have an idea of how you're going to get there. You should have the tools and the techniques that you need to let go of negative beliefs and negative feelings, and to replace them with positive beliefs and positive feelings. And if you can do that, then you will see significant improvement in your life. So that's it for this video. You can find part 2 of the video series on creating goals on the Build a Brighter Life website. So why not go ahead and give that a try, see if the techniques work for you, and come up with some ideas of what it is you want to achieve in your life. Even if you do nothing else, just having this idea, this knowing of what it is you want to achieve, will help you as you move through life. Because as new opportunities come up, you'll be able to think, does this opportunity align with what I actually want to do in my life? And if it does, then great. And if it doesn't, then perhaps that's a time to say, well, no, thanks, this one's not for me. Because I know now what it is I want to do with my life, and this isn't aligned with that. If you found this video interesting, then please tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. I would like to help as many people as I can through this series of videos. As I was doing the goal setting process for myself, I realised that one of the things I want to do in my career is I want to help people. And I set a goal for myself that by the end of my life I want to have helped inspire and improve the lives of 1 million people. And this set of videos has come out of that. So this set of videos has come out of using the tools and techniques that I talk about in this video series. It's given me new drive in life. It's given my life some new direction. It can do the same for you. So please tell your friends, tell your family, like us on Facebook, whatever it is that you choose. And I look forward to talking to you in the second video in the series. Bye bye.